This is wind.
Wind?
Wind. Wind. Yeah. The wind came. A strong wind.
Okay.
A strong wind
Hurricane.
came. A strong wind, a hurricane. Yes, a hurricane blew. The king of the country, the king had 3 daughters. The king had 3 daughters. A young daughter, an oldest daughter, and a middle daughter. 3 girls. The king had not one child, 3 children. 3 girls. 3 daughters. 3 bánya.
Daughters,
The king...
az miért nem girls? Ja, csak kérdezem, hogy ez ugyanazt a...
Az ugyanazt jelenti. Yeah. The king had 3 girls, 3 daughters. And the king's daughters loved to dance. They loved to dance. The king's daughters didn't dance in the palace. They were dancing in the garden when the hurricane came. So when that strong wind came, the 3 daughters of the king were dancing in the garden. They were at a party. It was a party, a garden party. They were having a garden party. They were dancing when the wind came, and the wind grabbed the 3 girls. The wind grabbed the girls, the king's daughters, and took them away out of the garden. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
The king saw it from the window. Oh no, he said. Oh, the wind has taken my daughters away. The wind has taken my daughters away. Elvitte őket. Oh no, oh no, oh me, oh my. The king was desperate. Oh no. Bring back, bring them back, bring them back, bring them back to me. He wanted his daughters back home. So the king said, you understand? If you bring back my daughters, I will give you half my kingdom, and 1 daughter. Peter heard this. Peter heard what happened. Peter heard what had happened. He heard that the wind had taken the 3 daughters of the king away. And he heard what the king said. He heard that he said, if you bring back my daughters, I will give you half my kingdom and 1 of my daughters. So Peter came to the king, and he said, "My king, I'll bring back your daughters. I'll bring back your daughters." The king said, "Good, Peter, if you bring back my daughters, I will give you half my kingdom and one of my daughters." "Okay, I will go and find them," he said. Goodbye, goodbye. So Peter went and looked for the 3 daughters of the king. He wanted to find them. He said, "I'll give it a try. I'll give it a try." Megpróbálom. So he looked everywhere. Mindenütt nézte. He looked everywhere. He looked for 3 years. He looked for 3 years, but he couldn't find them. He couldn't find the 3 daughters of the king. They were not in the garden. They were not in the palace. They were not in the little village. They were not in the cabin. They were not in the woods. They were not in the little village. They were not in Budapest. They were not in London. He looked everywhere, but they were nowhere. The 3 girls. Finally, he was in a dark forest. He was in a dark forest, in the woods, in a dark forest. And he saw a little man. He saw a little man with a long beard. He saw a little man with a long beard. And the small man with a long beard asked him, "What are you doing here, young man? What are you doing here in this dark forest?" You understand?
Itt a végét nem annyira. Mit mondott neki a törpe?
He asked him, megkérdezte. The small man asked him, "What are you doing here?" Mit keresik? What are you doing here? What you doing here? And he said, 3 years ago, 3 years ago, the 3 daughters of the king were in the garden. They were having a garden party and they were dancing. But a strong wind came and the wind grabbed the 3 girls and took them away. The king said, "If I bring them back, he will give me half his kingdom and one of his daughters." So I am trying to find them. I have been everywhere. I have been to London. I have been to Budapest. I have been to Paris. I've been to New York. I have been to little villages. I have been to woods and forests. I have been to the French Riviera. But the girls were nowhere. The small man said, "I know where they are. I know where they are." Tudom, hol van. I know where they are. I know where the 3 girls are. "Oh, where are they? Please tell me, where are they?" And the small man said, the 3 girls of the king are in the underworld. They are in the underworld. Why? Because. Why? Miért? Because it was 3 dragons who took them away, and the dragons took them to the underworld. Az alvilágba. So Peter said, okay, I'll go to the underworld. Where shall I go? Merre menjek? Where shall I go? And the small man showed him a tall tree. Showed him a tall tree. He said, he pointed at a tall tree in the distance. Oh, master, in the distance. Can you see that tree? That tall tree? Yes, I can. So go to that tall tree and beyond the tree, where is it? Where is it? Yeah. Beyond the tree there will be a deep hole in the ground. A deep hole in the ground. It'll be beyond the tree. You understand?
A fa mögött van egy lejárat.
Yeah. A deep hole in the ground. So go straight to the tree and the hole will be beyond it. Okay, thank you. So goodbye. Goodbye. Take care. I will. So he said goodbye to the small man. And he went on.